Welcome, new and returning listeners, to today's episode of the Black Business Roundtable. I am your host, Doug Blacksher, broadcasting to you live from the City of Diversity, Oakland, California, at the new Willows PINE restaurant to give you a look at what is coming shortly at 3525 Fruitvale Avenue in Oakland, California. I am so happy to have here celebrating our delayed 2023 happy podcast anniversary. It is hard to believe that our very first show was May 27, 2021. Thanks to the one and the only, the unapologetically Black man, Mr. Donnie Glover of Baltimore, Maryland. Hey, Donnie, as you can tell, I'm still rocking and rolling here in California. Donnie Glover, who gave me the opportunity for a 1-hour show. And on that show, my first guest was Dr. Ashley Coleman, Doctor of Psychology, and Mr. Trent Willis of the ILWU Local 10. Today, we are a 2-hour show thanks to our audience. Thank you, audience, for helping us grow. And Dr. Ashley's Therapeutic Thursday, and you are a growing fan base. Dr. Ashley should be joining us for a bit around 5 p.m. And I am looking forward to seeing my sister smile, as I have truly missed her calming presence and spirit in the studio. A few words off the cuff today. Let me just say, audience, it's because of you. It's because of your commitment to Black excellence, to Black media, to the real news, and Black USA that the Black Business Roundtable is going strong and continue to go stronger every day. And second, but definitely not least, I have some very exciting news to share with you today. I want to talk about a young lady who I have known all her life. She graduated, or let me back up. She is originally from the city of Oakland, where she currently resides. She graduated from schools in the Alameda County Bay Area. She went on after getting a scholarship at the University of San Francisco, where she earned her Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and Advertisement. Then she furthered her education at USF in sunny Southern California, earning her sports management degree. From that, she went on and got a job with the world champion Warriors basketball team, Golden State Warriors. After several years of working with the Warriors, she moved and departed from that organization and started her own business. And just recently, I am proud to announce that she started training for bodybuilding competition in San Jose, California. Her first contest where she won first place in her first bodybuilding competition and second place in the overall competition. And if you're sitting down, I got something for you. Her name is Letitia Blacksher. Yes, that is my daughter. I am so proud of her. Letitia Blacksher, after training for a year and a half, after having her own business for the last 2 to 3 years of body training, nutritional training, and just training in general, And let me give you a little background about Letitia Blacksher, because we are going to amp up this show in our third year with dun 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 dun. We have first, this show is based on Black political power, increasing Black political power in the Black communities all across America. Second, by Black, from Black, for Blacks. We have got to start spending our dollars where they are appreciated. White America, I don't have anything against you, but you don't appreciate our money. So Black people who are listening to this show, and all people who are listening to this show, if it's not Black, go back. Start spending your money in Black businesses all across this country. And I have one saying in regards to that before I move on to the last two issues that this show is going to be covering. If Black people in this country would stop spending money for 24 hours in white America, we would get the respect that we earn, that we deserve, and that we must fight for. So if you're listening, please check out your local, county, state, and national Black businesses, and Black people, white people, Asian people, invest in Black businesses. Third, and I take this commitment very seriously, we are fighting racism that has plagued this country for over 400 years. That's right, racism. Now, I'm not saying all white people are racist, but the racist white people who are racist, we need to identify them, whether they be big corporations or mom and pop businesses, and stop spending our money. Why would we want to perpetuate racism that has destroyed the Black community for centuries? And now, for the special news of the day in regards to the Black Business Roundtable, we are going to be adding a new component to this show. And the person who's going to be leading that charge is my very own Letitia Blacksher, my daughter, who's going to be bringing a nutritional component. And as you can see, we're starting with the outstanding location at Willows Pines, 3525 Fruitvale Avenue in Oakland, California. And to my national audience and audience who are outside of this country, we want to promote Willows Pines. Michauxnee has been a strong advocate, a friend of the show, and also has brought some outstanding dishes to our audience over the past year plus. And now you're going to have the opportunity to come down here and for yourself dandelize your taste bud. You are going to have a true, memorable, pleasurable experience. I am here on location today at 3525 Fruitvale Avenue in Oakland, California, the Michauxnee Willows Pines restaurant. And let me tell you, audience, we want to make sure we have this place popping, cracking, booming, bustling. We want to make sure this sister is not going to thrive and stay alive, but we want to make sure she branches out and creates more than just this location, but other locations, not just here in Oakland, in the county of Alameda, in the state of California, but all across this nation. We want to help Willows Pines bring that tantalizing, mouth-watering, outstanding dishes that she creates in Willows Pines restaurant, located here at 3525 Fruitvale Avenue in the bustling district of Fruitvale District and the Laurel District. She has a beautiful location, and what we're going to do, we're going to be panning out shortly such that you can get a true feel of the ambiance. I'm talking about the ambiance that this restaurant has created. And when I finish talking, well, I'm going to cut it short because I can continue to talk. We have Letitia Blacksher going to be coming on to the show in the next couple of weeks talking about her new business. And let me give you a little background about her nutritional training in regards to getting people together. She's a fitness trainer. She is a U.S. weightlifting coach, a ACE certified PT, physical therapist. She is a NASM nutrition coach, a strength and endurance coach, and she is a nutrition coach. Her Instagram is Tish, that's TISH, the trainer, THETRAINER. If any of you have Instagram right now, I humbly ask that you pull up her Instagram website and see the beautiful pictures that she has from her competition about 3 weeks ago in San Jose, California, where she placed first in her first competition and second place in the overall competition. Letitia Blacksher, you're a chip off the old block. Keep up the great work, and we look to have you on the show soon. And that is, once again, Tish the Trainer on Instagram. Thank you. Now, getting back on what is going on here on the Black USA Black Business Roundtable. And one more shout out. Donnie Glover, you gave me the opportunity to showcase my infant skills over 3 years ago. We're going into our third year. And you will never, ever know how much I fully appreciate you giving me the voice to speak out, not just here in Oakland, California, Alameda County, California, the state of California, but all across this nation. It takes pioneers. It takes business people. It takes people who look like me and Dr. Ashley to encourage and motivate Black people in this country that yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can do anything, and I do mean anything you want if you're given the opportunity. And my last piece of advice, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. On that note, we are here at Willow and Pine, 3425 Fruitvale Avenue, in the bustling, beautiful community of Laurel District in Oakland, California. And I'm telling you, when I walk around here and show you this restaurant, everything is brand spanking new. They are still finishing the touches on this restaurant. But let me tell you something, audience. Whether you are from Oakland, whether you're from the county of Alameda, whether you're from the state of California, or whether you're traveling all across this nation, you must come visit Willow and Pine at 3525 Fruitvale Avenue in Oakland, California. Wells Fargo is right across the street. We have Safeway up the street, and we have many small businesses that are surrounding this area that depend on the community, on the city, on the state, on this country to keep their money rolling into our local economy. So once again, Willow and Pines, 3525 Fruitvale Avenue in the beautiful city of Oakland, California. Once again, Dr. Ashley should be joining us for a bit around 5 p.m. And I am so looking forward to seeing my sister smile again. I missed her so much. We have been relaxing, and I say we because Dr. Ashley, my producer, and myself. And audience, this does not come from me. This show is designed by a producer who has put so much work into getting guests like the Honorable Elihu Harris, Dr. Glenda Newell Harris, Mr. Robert L. Harris. We have Jennifer Esteen running for Alameda County Supervisor. We have Carol Fife, Honorable Carol Fife, who is the District 3 City Council. We have had Janani Ramachandran, who just won her race for District 6 City Council in Oakland, California. We have Mr. Honorable Kevin Jenkins, who is the council member representing District, well, let me back up. Janani Ramachandran is the District 4 City Council. Honorable Kevin Jenkins is the Honorable Councilperson for District 6. We've even had the Honorable Rebecca Kaplan, who ran for Alameda County Supervisor, and she's the Vice Mayor in Oakland, California. We've also had many other politicians on this show who were candidates or who were candidates and ran and won. And we continue to support our candidates who support Black men and women all across this nation, not just in Oakland, California, not in Alameda County, not just in the state of California, but all across the United States. We are so blessed to have powerful people. And let me be clear here. Pamela Price, Alameda County's first Black woman district attorney, who has been taking a beating, and she's only been in office for 6 months. I supported her. I continue to support her. And all I ask my audience to do, whether you are Black, white, or other, give her a chance for her plan of implementation of social justice. She has a new handle, which is called the Social Justice Avengers. And I humbly ask that you give her a chance to execute her plan. And before you continue to want to recall her or beat her up or whatever the word is on the streets out there, give her a chance to get the job done. That's all I ask. We've had District Attorney O'Malley and previous district attorneys who were white, who have done nothing but incarcerate Black and brown men and women for decades. Yes, decades in the city of Oakland and in the county of Alameda. So we have a new avenger for justice in the county of Alameda, and I humbly ask that you give her a chance to execute her plan that will allow all people, the justice that we all deserve in the United States of America, in the state of California, and in the county of Alameda. So let me give you a little bit of idea of what I've been doing for the last month or so. I have been really relaxing. I have enjoyed some time off. I had a chance to go down to the California Democratic party convention in LA, and I've shared some pictures on my Instagram and Facebook page, and I believe in LinkedIn. I've also had an opportunity to just sleep, eat some good food. I need to do a little more exercising, but I'm sure Tish, the trainer, who I'm sure is watching, is ready. Is ready to get me on that treadmill and stretch me out. I've been having a little bit of discomfort with uh, sciatic pain in the leg area and lower back. I visited my doctor, and I am working to get my body healthy again. And with the help of Tish, the trainer, owner Letitia Blacksher, I'm sure within 3 to 6 months, I will be back with the 30-year-old body I once had. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about Willow and Pine and what dishes she is hoping, and I won't say hoping, let me rephrase that. What dishes that she knows that you are going to enjoy. I am going to find her. She's floating around here, and I'm going to switch cameras so that my audience can really get an ambiance of this restaurant and the culture feel, the newness of this restaurant, and also how we must support our Black businesses in Black America. So if you have had the opportunity to come here in Oakland, California, you know we are a rich, diverse city, and we have had an opportunity to thrive both culturally and other. One of the things that I'm going to share to you, and I'm going to be switching everything right now, such that, okay, I believe we are getting ready to just, okay. Hang on 1 second, folks, while I switch cameras. And I believe there it is. Oh, there goes Mr. Barack Obama. What's going on, my brother? 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 Okay, let me. All right. I think I have everything ready. Audience, we are going to walk around. If you can see this place here, this is going to be the home of Willow and Pine. Barack, can you hear me? I'm going to bring Barack into the studio.
There we go.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Am I double voicing, or did I mute my? I hope I mute my other one.
Yeah, the other one was double voice, but I think you've corrected it now.
All right. Well, that's one reason why I have a producer, man, because I am terrible at at this audio and visual stuff. But
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see where I am right now. Are you
Wow,
getting?
it's
Are you
lovely. I
getting?
can see it's lovely.
Yes, getting a visual, and look at the sign as you come in.
Amazing.
Everything is spanking brand new. Everything is
Wow.
spanking brand new. Are you getting a feel for what's going to happen here once she opens up? Real love, no charge, Ruthie May. And they are still putting everything in. So bear with the uh, tools and construction stuff, but do you see how well this is going to fit into not only the community but the city? Look at
Absolutely. I see that the real love that like that was the intention, one of them at least, that people would experience that when they come in, and it's got that welcoming down home feel to it to make you feel at home.
and look at the. Do you see this? I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but this beautiful piece of furniture right here
Hmm.
makes you feel like you're at home at grandma's house, doesn't it?
Yep. Yep.
Uh,
And get you ready for the food.
well, Chef Michauxnee here is with her contractor, but I want to have her say a couple of words because she opened up her place not only to my audience in Oakland, Alameda County, state of California, but all across the United States. We want to make sure when this restaurant is open, we keep her place flooded with people who want a good meal in a good city and a good place. So I'm going to turn it over to Chef Michauxnee for a
All
few
right.
minutes. Chef Michauxnee, let's fire it up right quick.
That's great. Tell us what's on the menu.
Well, part of the menu is still stuck in my head.
Uh-oh.
I've been playing around with different ideas, but we are going to keep our previous brunch menu. So on Saturday and Sunday, we'll do our 4-course prefix meal. The change that I'm updating the menu with is we're doing a 4-course vegan option this time around.
Mm.
And one of the courses that I have decided on is a Creole fried oyster mushroom, like a chicken fried oyster mushroom with a sweet plantain waffle. We're not gonna be adding anything to the plantains. We're gonna just make it into a waffle. I'm still working on some of the other courses and the ideas, but I want to get that vegan option down. We definitely are gonna have our crab cakes, and there is a vegan fondue on the
Mm.
menu. We're also doing, of course, our jambalaya and our collard greens. But I got a Chilean sea bass, like a curried sea bass with coconut milk and collard greens, as well as a whole pan fried snapper, and with a rice dish. I haven't decided what color that rice is gonna be. It's not gonna be like the jambalaya rice, but it will be definitely something that's gonna highlight. Um, the different ways we show up in this world, in the culinary world, but just in the world period as Black people. You know, people think that Creole is just someone from New Orleans that's mixed with someone else from out that way, or French. In my family, yes, we are French Creole. My name is Michauxnee Antoinette Ollier, but that's not all we are. Creole is everywhere we stopped on them boat rides, and who we mixed with, and how that came to be, and how we brought Africa with us everywhere we went, no matter what, and how that all came to surface in the food we eat. So we're gonna highlight a lot of that. It's just pulling it out of my brain is not always the easiest thing for me to do. I'm kind of like I dream about it, and then I see it, and then I make it, and then I play with it a little bit, and then I make it the way I think it I dreamed about. And so there's a few things. The oxtails and grits are still going to be on the menu for brunch.
Mm.
We'll still have our etouffees, and we'll have some specials here and there. We'll do gumbo on Fridays. Um, but yeah, there's still a few things stuck in my head, and I'm not sure. I want to do something with chicken. I'm not frying chicken every day. We get enough of that. You can get fried chicken somewhere else and not get it out of me unless you're a kid. uh, yeah, we're not. We're gonna try to help do things a little bit healthier than we have in the past. We will have beer and wine once we get our liquor license cleared, but um, we won't serve any soda here. It'll be lemonades and juices and juice baked, fresh teas and things like that. We have a lot of folks in my circle that have different businesses, and I want to highlight and give them access to help grow their business as well through Willows and Pine by utilizing their services. Like for breakfast and lunch, we are going to do a biscuit based breakfast and lunch service. It'll all be biscuits and gravies, but it'll be different types of gravies. You might have a chicken pot pie gravy, the etouffee, the shrimp etouffee, the smothered steak. We'll do a vegan biscuit with a green goddess gravy. I haven't decided what all vegetables are going to go in it, but it's going to be delicious. I'm even thinking about playing with some falafel for that, but I haven't decided yet. It's all stuck in my head, but we're going to, because not everything is going to be super healthy. So we're going to mix the healthy stuff in there somewhere. And the best way to do that for me is to remove soda.
Amazing. That's
I'm
amazing.
trying.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love when you mention all that gravy, different types of gravy. It just
Who
got
doesn't
me
like?
going for it.
No, one of my girlfriends had gone somewhere. She goes, "You should have a gravy flight." And I was like, "You know what? I think we will." I kind of like the way that sounds. A big
Yeah.
biscuit and kinds of gravies to try.
It kind of reminded me of some of the restaurants when you have the barbecue and they have different types of barbecue. Why not have different types of gravy?
Right, right. And we're gonna keep it simple. Like I don't want to with other businesses around for anything.
hmm hmm
I'm gonna for coffee. There's gonna be a new coffee shop opening across the street. There's a Pete's down the street. Diamond Cafe is down the street. They make a great traditional breakfast. I'm not frying eggs. I'm serving biscuits with stuff on top of them. Um, what else am I not doing? Well, obviously, I'm not doing pizza,
hmm
but food community I've been exploring, and it's really good. And it's easy to support each other without having to kind of reinvent the wheel. So I'm just trying to
Yeah.
do my own lane, highlight
Yeah.
the the resources that we have and our culture.
That's so great. I've heard it said that you can give a person another person the recipe, but it's what you put into it, the love you put in it, that you can actually taste it. And
Right.
that I'm getting that feeling that that's what people are going to get from you, get that love and that feel of the culture, and they can have the recipe, but they can't reproduce you, the originator of all of this.
Like I tell people, like I'm looking at. There's a photo up here. I don't know if you can see this one. It's the Barnes menu from about in the '80s, and the motto of the restaurant, my family's restaurant, is "You can taste the love in our food," and I live by
You
that.
know?
I don't cook when I'm angry because you can taste it. You can tell. So you're like, something ain't right. She must not have been feeling good. So I try not to cook when I'm mad, um, or if I really
Yeah.
just don't want to. Right. So if you
Yeah.
don't want to do it, it's not gonna be good. But
Yeah.
I
What's
tell
what's
people all the time, like my hand might be heavier or lighter than yours when I season things. Like we're all different. Everyone's gonna put their own spin on everything, and you should. Like I encourage people to cook. Cook for yourself. I don't mind doing it for you. You're gonna pay me to do it, but you should cook for yourself. It's a healthy thing to do for your spirit. Sometimes you learn what kind of magic is really in you when you put it on a plate.
Well, Chef Michauxnee, I want to say this. Mr. Barack B. Obama is running for governor of the state of California, and I'm going to encourage him when he wins to have his launch party and his post win party here at Willow and Pine,
all right.
3525 Fruitvale Avenue in Oakland, California.
And also, if you want to just have some quiet time, just let me know. We don't have to have all those people all the time. Sometimes you want to just a little quiet, eat, get away, and not have everyone in your face. You just want to come hide away. We got that. We got that kind of space over here too.
Love
We're
it.
making this a family date night, community space, so it will serve a lot of purposes. Your kids are welcome, but it's also we're not gonna have televisions in the restaurant. You're gonna have to talk to people. You're gonna have to talk to people, and it's kind of curated that way to bring us back to each other. So thank you guys for having me, though. I'm gonna pass this back to Doug.
Can I borrow
Wonderful.
a few more minutes so we can walk around and let?
Oh, sure.
And I've already talked to the contractor and he gave me the thumbs up. But I want to share with our audience the artwork that you have going on here. This is truly amazing. Look at this. Do you see this? Can you talk about this picture? I'm going to hit each one briefly, but can you tell our audience what is going on here?
So this restaurant is my family's legacy continued. My great grandparents built up a lot, and in the two generations after, everyone lost a lot.
And what about this one here? This truly reminds me of back when my grandparents were around and how we used to be sitting around. Can you talk about this one a little bit, please?
So I had never seen this picture before. It was hidden behind another picture in my grandmother's photo album. But this is the original barn. And this is my Aunt Ollie and my Aunt Thelma, my great-grandmother Estelle, and my great-grandfather. And the rest of those folks who are in the picture were people who worked for them.
Wow. Now let's move on to this one. One-arm owner of Save Yourself Market does shoots Robert. Talk about this one.
Great-granddad didn't play. He was all about self-sufficiency and building himself up. And he only had one arm. When he came here, he had lost his arm in a sawmill accident. And on this particular occasion, he had got tired of being robbed. And so he stayed up one night, and when the burglars came back, he shot him in the behind.
Wait, where did he shoot him?
Right in the behind.
Good shot.
Yeah. And so they were full of buckshot at the hospital. And they didn't get robbed anymore after that.
Wow.
And back then, they put these people's name, address, everything in the newspaper. This is a newspaper article.
Wow.
So it's interesting how times have changed a little bit.
And audience, look at the light and majesty of this light. What made you choose this light right here?
I just think we deserve pretty spaces, and I like the glass and the metal. It's sophisticated. It's high up enough where kids can't touch it, and I can have something pretty in my space.
Do you see the majesty that's going on here? Now let's move on to this picture right here. This
is my grandma. That's Ruthie Mae. So
wait a minute, I met her the other day. Is that her?
That's her.
Hey, Grandma. Beautiful person, everyone. And she donated the chairs in there, which we'll show shortly.
Yes. So Grandma she's one of the only ones in the family. She's dyslexic, so she doesn't read and write very well. And she grew up working in the barn, and she cooked there all her life. She worked in the family's business all of my life, but most of her life, outside of when she moved to Chicago and came back.
Okay. Now let's move on to this picture.
This is another one I had never seen. I liked it because it had so many of my aunts and uncles in it. I don't know who their dates were. And you can't see it from this angle, but there's a gentleman standing behind my grandmother who is right there in the top right corner next to my great-grandmother, who looks just like my son. And it's always interesting to see who looks like who when you've never seen anyone else in the family who looks like that person on your side. And that picture struck me because there was a man in that photo that looked exactly like my son.
Now let's move on. We've been talking about the barn for the last year with Chef Michauxnee. Now we have the barn. Can you talk to our audience a little bit about the barn? Fast service, food to go. And I remember Esther's Orbit Room on 7th Street.
They're right next door to each other. People think that Esther's and the barn were connected, and they were not connected like that. Esther had the Orbit Room as well as the liquor store on her building. We had the restaurant, and they did food there too sometimes. This is where the barn landed after the post office came and the eminent domain and removed them from Pine Street.
Wow.
So that's how they ended up on 7th
Now,
Street.
explain to our audience a little bit about eminent, not like you know, but as much as you can tell us about eminent domain and how it affected the Black community.
Well, back in the 40s when all these folks were migrating here from different parts of the world to escape the oppression that they were facing, they knew that they were more than what white folks said they were. And so they established themselves and built businesses and homes and whatnot in this area of West Oakland, pre-BART and pre-post office. Well, once these areas are thriving, and it happens all the time, especially in areas that are populated by Black people, eminent domain is where the government says, we want this land because we're going to do something on it and you have to go. It's just that simple. They typically will either undersell or underpay you for your property or depending on if you know your rights and what you're dealing with, and you lose. You basically have to start all over. And in that time, we all know that with all the redlining and what was happening in that area and all over the world, really, um, people weren't treated fairly. So we went from having all these thriving Black communities with all these big, beautiful homes to another slum and then another ghetto.
And audience, on that note, we're going to let Chef Michauxnee talk with her contractor, but we're going to come back. We have Elisa Victory of Victory's Corner, our legal lawyer guru coming in. So we're going to let you get back to your contractor, but can you please afford my audience, not just here in Oakland, not just here in the county of Alameda, not just here in the state of California, but all across the United States. We want to continue to do a walk around so that when this place is completed, we continue the establishment that your great grandparents, that her great grandparents started here in Oakland, California. And let me tell you all, when you come here from New York, Baltimore, LA, Florida, Arkansas, Chicago, or anywhere in the United States, think of the Barn fast food service, now called
Willows and Pine.
Thank you. We'll get back to you shortly.
All right. Thanks, Doug.
Audience, as you see, this is a awesome show today. Anniversary show pointing out why we must support our Black businesses, not just here in Oakland, California, but all across the United States. And before we bring Alicia in, I have to show you this bar area. Let me just share that. Look at that. Look at that. We're going to have a time here when this place opens up. Okay, I'm going to head back to the computer. So bear with me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. Well, let's get Elisa Victory on so we can hear Victory's Corner. Barack, let me
Absolutely.
Audience, Barack has been a huge supporter of the Black Business Roundtable, and he has been a pillar in the city of Alameda and in the county of Alameda County. Well, I keep saying the city of Alameda and the county of Alameda, and soon to be the mayor, or excuse me, the governor of the state of California. So, Mr. Brock, let's welcome Elisa Victory on so we can get Victory's Corner. Elisa, are you there?
Hello, can y'all hear me?
How you doing, sister?
Perfect. I'm great. How are you? Good to see you again.
Well, as you can see, we are live on location here at 3525 Fruitvale Avenue in Oakland, California. And we wanted to share the grand opening, but we have to pull to the side because we need a little victory today. So, Victory's Corner. Let's turn it over to Victory.
Peace, y'all. I'm on site too. I'm at the Cypress Mandela Training Center in East Oakland, where the entire Oakland Unified School District is watching final presentations from all their students who did internships. So supporting the youth, had youth doing voter reg with me. So yeah, sorry if there's some noise in the background, but I am out and about as well.
Well, Elisa, I know you have worked with the returning residents. People want to call them parolees, convicts, but the correct term is returning resident because they served their time and they're returning home to be productive citizens in the neighborhoods, the communities, and in the cities that they're going to be residing in. So can we, we're doing more of an improv today, but can we turn this over to you and let you enlighten us on some of the things that you're doing and continue to do? Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, many folks know for years I was a prison educator. I was teaching Black studies inside of San Quentin Prison. Was also been working on criminal justice policy to try to bring more people home, shortening some of these really long, really excessive sentences, especially for people who were sentenced when they were young folks, allowing them a chance at an adult life that is not behind bars. So I do a lot of work with people who are formerly incarcerated, who are working on those policies themselves to empower folks who are directly impacted to tell their stories, to talk about why prisons aren't the best place to rehab yourself, why they aren't the best places for you to come out and be successful. There's still so many issues around housing, civic engagement, jobs, and employment that is absolutely necessary that we pour into all of our returning residents, our returning neighbors. Some of the things I'm doing this summer with the Black Unity Council is registering people to vote. And we are focused on registering young people ages 18 to 25, as well as formerly incarcerated people. California allowed ex-felons, people on probation and parole, the right to vote in 2020. And a lot of folks don't know that that law changed. A lot of people in other states other than California don't have those rights to vote. And they have those rights permanently stripped from them. There's a lot of states that are rolling back enfranchisement and starting to put up a lot more barriers to voting. California actually has a lot more liberal voting laws, even allows things like same-day voter registration. And so making sure that people are educated, are informed. We've been using young people this summer to get to those folks, to get into those communities, into youth centers, to talk to at-risk youth, to people who are dropping out of high school, who are just graduating high school. They listen to them a lot better than me, but I also do a lot of work, again, inside of prisons and with folks who are returning residents who are helping their own communities. I encourage you all to get involved, get engaged, whether it's policy work, whether it's volunteering, whether it's helping someone register to vote and navigate their ballots. There's a lot of issues that are coming up that certainly anyone who's formerly incarcerated would absolutely want to vote on, around things like our district attorney, our public safety, even a sheriff is elected. And in this county, Alameda County, we actually elected a new sheriff after decades of having the same sheriff run uncontested. And so we absolutely need formerly incarcerated folks, young people's voices in our ballots, in our electoral politics. We'd love to see them running for office, right? And be able to make decisions themselves and be those examples in leadership. So I do a lot of work. I invite y'all to partner with me, to invite you to partner with the Black Unity Council. If y'all want to connect with us, you can find our student interns out, but we're also having a community town hall this August at Fremont High, and I'll report more on that in my next Victory Corner segment.
Well, how much time are we working with? Because Barack D. Obama is running for the governor for this great state of California, and I know you're out there doing. I mean, first off, I just got a haircut, and I'm not going to say who my barber is, but you know him personally.
You're looking fly, looking fly.
There you go. There you go.
And see about these students and support them. So I do want to hand it over to Barack Obama Shaw, but let me just leave y'all with a few words. We saw some really scary Supreme Court decisions come down recently, ones that are gutting affirmative action in private education. They've already been gutted for several years in California for our public education, but those are signals that those things are going to continue. Those attacks on racial equity, justice, equity, and diversity, inclusivity programs, reparations, things that are redressing racial harm and racism and white supremacy are now being called racist themselves and are under attack across this country. So we absolutely need governors and electeds at every single level that understand the race equity issues that we're dealing with, the racism that we have inherited that is not new, that is not a new conversation, but we're actually being rolled back again in our voting rights, education rights, civil rights, and those are falling on Black folks acutely. So this is a call to action that y'all need to get organized, get educated, keep watching this show, but also follow people who are running for office like Barack Obama Shaw. Thank you so much for having me, and actually happy anniversary to the Black Business Roundtable. Thank you so much for all the work y'all do to elevate people's stories, to elevate people like myself who are running to be public servants and to represent the voices of Black residents.
And audience, remember the key word that Elisa Victory of a Victory Corner, who comes here every other Thursday for a half hour to enlighten, inform, and teach not only the people of Oakland, County of Alameda, state of California, but all across this United States, how important it is to get politically involved. Her key word was, she is here to serve. We have some elected politicians right now who are asking to get paid while the constituents get played, who got elected with my support, and they're playing the constituents of this great city that I live in. And I will soon be addressing that if they don't get their acts together. And I truly mean that. Elisa Victory, you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. I'm here to serve with or without a title, no elected position. I'm still doing the same thing every day, showing up for all of you and learning about service from folks like you all.
Elisa Victory, we appreciate you. And let me just clear anything up with anybody who's listening to this podcast. Your job when you get elected is to serve your constituents, not to serve yourself. On that note, Elisa Victory, continue the great work that you do every day in our community in Oakland, California. We'll see you soon. And I'll tell Dr. Ashley you said, hey.
See ya.
All right.
Back in 2 weeks for Victory's Corner.
And we look forward to having you. Barack, we have got to get you using some of her tactics because this sister sharp. I'm telling you. She took $30,000 and took on people with $300,000 and beat them.
Wow.
Elisa, we'll talk to you soon.
Peace out.
Wonderful.
Well, Mr. Barack B. Obama, what's going on, my brother?
Well, I said that I would come by and wish you guys a happy anniversary, and I just wanted to share my support and let you know that I really care about you all over there, and acknowledge you for all the great work you're doing.
Well, audience, let's be clear here. It's easy for us to do the work that we do when we have people like Elisa Victory, Barack Obama, Pamela Price, Janani Ramachandran, Carol Fife, Kevin Jenkins, and a host of other people who are running, and listen to this, audience, who are running to serve their constituents. These politicians we have out here, let me tell you something, and I hope you're listening. If you don't get your act together, you'll be hearing from me real soon, and it's going to be a challenging way. Thank you, Eloise Middleton, for the happy anniversary. It's people like you who've come on to the show, who've helped us get to where we are. We got Mr. Danny Glover. I went to school with this brother. And Danny, let me read to my audience what you said regarding your daughter. My daughter is a neuromuscular massage therapist at Hand and Stone in Alameda. Get with me. If she doesn't make you feel better, I pay for your first visit myself. Boy, that's a father like me. I'm back. That's my kid, and I back her up. So let's get a shout out for Mr. Danny Glover, my brother from junior high school, elementary, and Casamount High School in Oakland, California, where I graduated from. Danny, we got a shout out for your daughter, who is a neuromuscular massage. Dang, I have to hold on. Let me Google that. Danny Keller says, my daughter is a neuromuscular massage therapist at Hand and Stone in Alameda. So we got a plug out for Danny Glover's daughter in Alameda, California at Hand and Stone. And we don't have her name, but just ask for Miss Keller. Thanks, Danny. And I'm glad you're supporting the show, brother. Mr. Barack Obama, can you tell us some of the great things that you're doing since the last time you've been on the show to get your name out there to make sure that people understand that they have a choice? And I want you to talk more about the nonprofit organization that you opened up, the political organization, and some of the work that, and I'm going to turn this over to you because this organization is not Democrat or it's not Republican, but it is called Ring of Truth Political Party, hashtag Barack Obama for Governor, CA for, let me make sure I get that correct, and it's on the screen, audience. Hashtag Barack Obama, the numeral 4, GOVCA, or hashtag Young Obama Shaw, and visit his website at pricelesspolitics.com. So, Mr. Obama, I'm going to turn it over to you for at least 5, maybe 10 minutes, because I want our audience to get a full grasp of Ring of Truth, what it stands for, how it plays into the political, not just Democrat, not just Republican, and not just independent, but for all the people who are tired of getting shafted and getting manipulated by these elected officials who, once they get your support and your endorsement, how they just pee on your pants leg and tell you it's raining. Thank you, sir.
Okay. I definitely feel you on that. So, Ring of Truth Political Party, when I ran for mayor here in the city of Alameda, after talking to people, I kept hearing about the one-party system. People saying they're tired of a one-party system. And I'm a type of person, when there's a complaint, I'm going to be looking at some solutions. So my belief about politics is I see politics as a problem that's destined to be solved. That's just how I see it. It's just as simple as that. And of course, there are some like mathematical problems that have like irrational numbers where the numbers don't come out exactly how you want them to. But then that's a management situation. You just continue to manage the workability of a structure. So I wrote an editorial in the Alameda Sun newspaper, and you can look that up online as well. It's talking about the Ring of Truth Political Party. Could it be the answer? And I shared about how I'm originally from Houston, Texas. And when it was time for us to vote, we just thought Democratic. That's what the leaders were at the time, everybody we knew. And we just identified with that and didn't think any different. If we saw a person with a D by their name, we just vote Democrat because they must be for us. And that's just how we thought. We didn't really talk about it very much, but a little bit. Sometimes you go to the church and they'll tell you, their part, which they're probably not supposed to in most cases, but they told you anyway. But I just got to the point to where now that, to look at why I'm doing what I'm doing, to really, instead of just following the crowd, most of the times people just follow the crowd. They'll look at, well, the crowd is doing it. Well, if you're following the crowd, then you'll probably get the same results as the crowd. And if the crowd is not getting the results you really want, then you probably shouldn't follow the crowd. So with Ring of Truth Political Party, it's a party in which it stands for the United States, the Constitution, as well as the Bill of Rights. And it's a party that it stands for people. In this particular culture, there's a lot of finger pointing. There's no finger pointing in Ring of Truth Political Party. It's a party that is looking for solutions. It's looking for the wonderful things that are happening in America. And according to the law of polarity, everything has an opposite. If people have something bad about, they want to say about the United States or about government, there's got to be something good as well. It's just a matter of natural law. But we just hear so much of the negatives all the time, and it creates a climate to where people just don't want to be involved. They don't want to vote, and they don't think their voice matters. So this is a different spin on it, to where we want people to know that their voice matters, and that there's something available when we take an action. When we like, okay, I voted, I did my part, I took an action, and instead of just complaining about the situation, I took an action. So with Ring of Truth Political Party, we want people to hear a ring of truth, and we want people to know that it's not just a political party, that it's also a philosophy. We want people to listen for that ring of truth. When Martin Luther King was speaking about let freedom ring, he also, it was implied that there would be some truth in that freedom, because where there's truth, there is freedom. So we want to continue to have let that freedom ring, but we have to have the what so about things. We have to be in the know. We can't just be in the dark about things. So we encourage people to get involved with the community, as well as coming up, seeking coaching and leadership, and requesting that people just get involved, and getting involved in the community. That's what it's going to take. It's going to take us to turn this thing around. It's not the government's, they're going to do what they're doing. They're going to maintain government. But as far as the citizens, I'm looking at working with the communities and having the people to work together, and instead of an independent situation, interdependence, where we're all working together, getting something done with our own two hands, using our intelligence, not waiting for somebody to do it, but taking all the actions and then saying, hey, I took all of these actions. What else do I need to do? Then then we can help you with that game shot, because you've already started taking some shots. You've already got on the court and start taking the actions. And so with that initiative, that's going to bring all the right people and the right attitude. If we have the right attitude of I can, if it's to be, it's up to me attitude, things will definitely alter for us. And I want to acknowledge Miss Victory with that spirit that she has, that she brought to the show, to let people know who are incarcerated that somebody cares. There's somebody that cares. That's somebody that's passionate about the rights of others, and that's following the big word, the SERVE, serving people, because that's what it's about. If we want to receive, we need to give. If we want somebody to help us, we need to help somebody. If we want someone to contribute to us, we need to contribute to somebody. If we want somebody to listen to us, we need to listen to somebody. If we want somebody to love us, well, we need to love someone. It just comes back. We can't just be me, 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 me. No. That doesn't work that way.
Well,
so you go ahead.
I'm going to sidebar real quick. In the city of Oakland, California, there was a lady named Orly Brown. Now, audience, this is Doug Blacksher, not Orly Brown speaking. Mm-hmm. Orly Brown, and I don't know if you heard of Orly Brown, but you will after I give you this bit of information. Orly Brown came up with a program called Promise, where she was a teacher in a area deep East Oakland with disadvantaged kids. And she made a promise to them that if they graduated from high school, she would help them go to college and help them get the money. And we had Mayor Lobby Libby coming here, take this Oakland Orly Brown promise and turn it into Oakland Promise. And the only thing she promised to do was get rich off of. She's put tens of millions of dollars into this program called Oakland Promise, and Gene Hazard has a lawsuit against her right now because what did she promise and who has received this promise? And it's sad. Lobby Libby, you ought to be shame of yourself for getting these big corporate donations and not benefiting the kids who need that help to pay for their college tuition. And I hope you're listening, and I hope this gets back to you, because Orly Brown started the program and continues to push to help get disadvantaged Black and brown kids into college. And ex-mayor Lobby Libby, who ought to be thrown in jail for collecting tens of millions of dollars from companies like Salesforce and others, and has done very little or anything. And I challenge you, Lobby Libby, I challenge you to show me where those tens of millions of dollars are going other than in your pocket, and to help destroy candidates who are running to serve in the city of Oakland, County of Alameda, state of California. Where's the money, Libby? Show me the money, or show me where the money is. You ought to be shame of yourself. Shame. To that end, Mr. Barack B. Obama, we have coming on, and hold on, I think she is here. Oh my God, wait a minute. Woosa. Audience, you have been in limbo, in wait. You have been held hostage long enough. We have dangled the carrot long enough. We have the one, the only, the person who is my co-host, my sister, my friend, my colleague, my family. I love you. We have Dr. Ashley Coleman.
Hello, gentlemen. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. Doug, so good to see you. Barack as well. Always good to see you both. How are you?
Well, I'm better now. Hey, wait a minute. Dr. Ashley, I got a haircut. I got shaved up.
Oh, yeah.
See me. Wait a minute. I didn't put a suit and tie on. I got in Magnolia. We going way back. We got Magnolia shirt on. How are you? And I'm going to start off. Excuse me, Mr. Barack B. Obama, running for governor. I want to ask you some questions that our audience are asking.
Sure.
How did Dr. Ashley enjoy her sabbatical, although she was ready to further her ability to help our community?
Wow. Well, thank you again for welcoming me back into this space. The last few months have been really remarkable. I have been grinding. I went on sabbatical, as I shared with the audience, in order to, I segued, like many of us in the pandemic, I pivoted. So during the pandemic, I became a tenured professor, so an associate professor at University of the West. But then I felt this tug to go back to my first true love, which is providing therapy. And so I pivoted back into the clinical world. And so in order to do that, I had to complete my postdoctoral hours. And we need to have a total of 3,000. I did that. And then I sat for one of two licensing examinations. And I can say, thank God I passed. And so I passed the examination for practice of professional psychology, known as the EPPP. And so what that has meant is the last couple of months, I have started my day. It's been so disciplined. So I am humbled by how much I was able to do when I was younger. Don't let these dimples fool you. I went back from a professor and chair of the department to writing flashcards. And I thought about every last one of my students and how I did not take delight in trick questions. Um, just kind of, it was just a studying gauntlet. Yeah, so it's 225 questions that we can have to answer in 4 hours and 15 minutes. And so the pace is a question per minute. And again, 500 is passing. So I jumped through that hoop. So I've just been trying to regroup and restore and woosah and do all those things we talk about because I have one more test to gear up for, which is the the law and ethics exam, which is known as the CPLEE. So once I complete that examination, I can be known officially as a licensed clinical psychologist.
Well, as Johnny Glover has put on the screen, and he is the one who has allowed us this space to excel, I can honestly tell you we are in our third year, sister.
Wow. Wow.
3 years.
Thank you, Johnny. Yes.
We have impacted political races. We have impacted Black businesses. We have promoted politicians. We have educated our audience on why it is important to vote and who can vote, like returning residents. And let me be clear, audience. I want all of you to understand what I'm telling you right here and now. We will stop saying parolees, felons, criminals, and we will start using, as my brother Sabir Lockett has said, we will start using returning residents. They served their time and they deserve at least that respect. To that end, Dr. Ashley and Mr. Barack B. Obama, can you help us recapture over the last year or two the people who have made this show what it is today? I don't know if my producer got you the script, but she does not miss a turn. So can we go back, as I say, let's flash back to the past and start naming off the people who have been on this. And I started looking at this list and I said, my God. Look. So Barack, did you get the list too?
I did get the list. Yes. I don't have it in front of me at the moment.
Well, I want you to be a part of that because you are going to be a part of this show. I want to make sure that our audience understands that you are going to be our next governor. California has never had a Black governor. Let me get Dr. Ashley back on here. Hold on. There she. We got Jennifer. Oh my God, we got an all-star lineup. Hold on, Dr. Ashley. We have. I don't know if you met Jennifer Esteem.
No, I don't think I did.
Well, let me tell you something. The sister's amazing. She's awesome. Right. She's fantastic. She's magnificent. And she's going to be our next new, oh my God, there go Council Member Johnny Ramachandra. Hold on. Let me get these people on. Hold on. What's up, Johnny?
Hi, how's it going?
Hey. Girl, you guys gonna have me, wait a minute, you guys gonna have me tearing up here in a minute. Hold on. What's going on, my sister? Are you here to celebrate this moment?
Happy anniversary to the show. I am so honored to be a part of Black Business Roundtable family and just so grateful for all the powerful news that you spread and good conversations and insights that you bring.
Well, thank you. And it's people like you that made this show great. Yes. We appreciate you coming on today and sharing this magnificent moment as we enter into our third year.
Wow.
And guess who else I'm going to bring on? This is a powerful sister who's running for Alameda County Board of Supervisor, and her name is Jennifer Esteem. And I know you know Jennifer. Well, you know, God has truly blessed me with people around me who have helped me to bring information, who have helped me to educate, who have helped me to enlighten, and who have helped us to teach them that we need to get these scoundrels out of office and put people like Johnny, Jennifer Esteem, and I think we lost Jennifer, but I think she's back, and others. And real quick on you, Johnny, the uh, I was watching the city council meeting, and I also saw it on the news. Where can you tell our audience what you did against all the other city council people in Oakland regarding the mayor?
So there was a proposal in front of us to increase the mayor's salary by $75,000 per year. And I was the only council member on the finance committee to vote against it. I believe that all public servants need to be compensated well for their worth. However, we are in really difficult fiscal time right now. In our budget, we have had to make so many cuts to essential services, to contracts, to nonprofits, to the workers that take care of our streets, that defend our homes, that put out fires. Quite literally, we have had to reduce so much when it comes to other people in the city. And I'll just say one thing. In the city of Oakland, we have workers, essential workers who care for our babies, those who work in Head Start, that make $15.90 an hour, Oakland's minimum wage. So I am very open to having a conversation about increasing the salary of city workers who do essential services, but we got to start with those who don't earn a living wage first.
Audience, you heard it here on the Black Business Roundtable. Johnny Ramachandra explaining to our Oakland, Alameda County, state of California, and our national audience why she voted against the mayor of Oakland, Shang Tao, and she been on the show. She wants a $75,000 a year increase, and that's not even half the salary of our workers who take care of the kids in the city of Oakland, California. So I'm a little concerned about that. I've reached out to the mayor several times, and to date, I have not heard back from her, and I'm putting that on the record. So Johnny Ramachandran, I know you're in your office. I know you have a lot of work to do, but we at the Black Business Roundtable, we support you.
Thank you.
We got a new restaurant in the district.
Yes.
I'm here, right, girl? If you get off work, I'm here at Willows in your district in Oakland, and I want you to meet Michauxnee Olie, Honorable Johnny Ramachandra. When you get a chance, you got to meet the sister.
I would love to. I'll see you when I get out of here, and I'll come on by.
All right.
Thank you for having me. Take care.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you in the future. Thank you, Johnny. And once again, keep fighting for the ordinary people, because obviously a $75,000 raise, and we can't pay our child care providers $30,000. That's a problem for me.
And I'll just say one thing before I go. If you have opinions on this proposed raise, we need counsel to hear from you. Like I mentioned, I was the only one out of our finance committee members that voted the way that we did, and that our council needs to hear from you. So next Tuesday at 5 p.m. will be our next council meeting that we will be hearing. And please join us in person at City Hall or on Zoom to use your 2 minutes to make public comment and make your voice heard. We need your voices out there. So thank you.
Johnny, you know I supported Shang Tao, but I don't support a $75,000 raise when we can't pay our child care workers $30,000. Thank you, John and Nee. I support you. I love you. Talk to you soon.
Take care.
Willow and Pines, girl, you got to get here. Anyway, Jennifer Esteem didn't make it back. So let's do this because we're working with 40 minutes, but I want to make sure our audience gets an idea of all the people that we've had on this show that made this show what it is today. So I'm going to start. We lost our mental therapist guru. She should be right back.
Back.
So, the Barack D. Obama, you have a list in front of you. Were you able to get the list?
I thought I haven't got the list in front of me actually, but I think if I could check.
Well, that's okay. Dr. Ashley just made it back.
Okay.
So, Dr. Ashley, Dr. Ashley, because they've probably tired of hearing my voice, can you start off with the first group of people? Matter of fact, I'll start off because it includes you. Some of our 2021 guests included, and let me just say this, Dr. Ashley, I love you. Your family, your co-worker, your colleague, you're my friend, and you helped to make this show what it is today. So, May, in our first show, we had Dr. Ashley Coleman arrive on the scene. We had Trent Willis, ILWU Local 10 President in Oakland, California. Sandra Finley, President and CEO, the League of Black Women. Basim Kafu, President of the Onyx Insulation. Ken Houston, President of the Beautification Council and co-host. My brother, Everett Butler, was with us through July. June, we had Larry Lewis, was temporary co-host and with us through August. Benjamin Buggs, Robert L. Harris, Esquire, retired Vice President of PG&E of Oakland, California. Walter Edwards, real estate developer and chairman of the Harlem Business Alliance. And Jonathan Ramachandran, Esquire, joined us most weeks. Honorable, and I call him Uncle Honorable Elihu Harris, Esquire, 46th mayor of Oakland, California, 1993 to 1999. Can you take it for the next step or for the next group, Dr. Ashley?
I'm trying to pull us up, Doug, but I don't know if our producer told you I'm on family.
Oh, well, that's okay. I'll keep it rolling. Oh, while we take a quick break, we have Jennifer Esteem back on scene. Jennifer, we're gonna take a quick break with you telling us what you're doing before we finish talking about all the guests we've had.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me to your 3rd anniversary show. Congratulations. Feliz cumpleaños. I am Jennifer Esteem, registered nurse and candidate for Alameda County Board of Supervisors. I'm excited to be here celebrating you on your national broadcast where people can listen to the round table and hear discussions of the day that are the most important and the most critical. And what I'm trying to do here in Alameda County is address our important needs around housing, healthcare, jobs, and justice. So I thank you so much for the time today, and I look forward to talking with you more whenever we finish with the break.
Well, let me be clear here. You are a friend of the show, and we've had politicians, and this is coming from me, Jennifer, so I'll own this. We've had politicians who have overstayed their welcome. Ooh, do I need to drop the mic on that? So we look forward to getting a fresh perspective from people like you. We welcome you back onto the show. I know you're just getting off work. We are going to continue reading off the name of the people who have made this show what it is today. Thank you for coming on the show today. Audience, this is Jennifer Epstein running for Jennifer?
Alameda
Running
County
for
Supervisor.
What
Awesome.
district?
District 4. And District 4 might not mean much to folks, so I'll tell you the geographic region. It's deep East Oakland. The Oakland Hills, including Montclair and the area around the zoo, golf links. Then it's the unincorporated areas of Ashland, Cherryland, Castro Valley, Fairview, and Hayward Acres, and also Pleasanton. Some of these areas are traditionally underinvested in. I personally live in the unincorporated area of Ashland, and we have officially gained the recognition of being the poorest community in Alameda County. So my candidacy as a public health nurse and a psychiatric registered nurse is to bring representation to our unincorporated community that we have never had before from a resident's perspective, a person who lives the experience of not having direct governmental representation. And I recently earned a very important endorsement from the Castro Valley Democratic Club. And one of the things I mentioned to the members of the club is that the Boston Tea Party was fought because people did not want taxation without representation. And the folks who live in the unincorporated community feel like we're still going through the exact same issues, that the County Board of Supervisors is a level that is far too high. It's way out of reach. Most people, if you live in a city, you have a city council and a mayor. You know who your council person is. You can reach out and touch them and call and get help and have a district representative. But at the county level, the county is 1.5 million residents. That's quite a few folks to pay attention to. And each supervisor represents about 400,000 people. At least in this district, it's 400,000 people. So when you have a constituency that large, it becomes incredibly complicated for you to service the community. But as a resident of the area where we are browner, blacker, poorer, I understand our needs very deeply and care so much about our community, my neighbors, and my fellow unincorporated residents. And I am running so that we can have the best representation possible, so we can have housing. And, you know, I think we need a nurse for a change. There is nothing more exciting than having a public health nurse representing our public health infrastructure.
There you go.
We look forward to having you on the show until you get elected. And then after that, we will continue to have you on the show, because I don't think that you will do like some of these politicians have done. Is once you get elected, you start forgetting about the people who elected you. So we'll see you soon. Jennifer Epstein running for the Alameda County Board of Supervisor in District 4. We'll see you soon, my sister.
Thank you, brother. Happy anniversary. Good to see you, brother Barack Obama Shaw. I've been waiting for a minute to have a chance to meet you.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure. This won't be the last time. That's awesome.
Okay, Barack, I'm going to finish reading these names off because I've been talking so much. I've already talked through the show.
Well, Doug, I just wanted to make sure I came by. I'm going to have to skedaddle and all, but I wanted to make sure I didn't forget about you guys, and and make sure I come in and just celebrate what it is that you're doing in the world, and just the presence you are. So I just wanted to come by for just a bit and say thank you so much for what you're doing.
Well, let me be clear here, audience. If we had more men like Mr. Barack D. Obama running for office, we would not be in such a disarray. We would not have the issue that we have in the neighborhoods, community, city, county, and state, and all across this country. We got a bunch of parasites running out here who are officials. We got a bunch of sharks. We got a bunch of people who tell you that they'll do something when they're running, and then they lie once they get elected and do nothing. And we will be addressing that in the shows to come. Mr. Barack D. Obama, thank you for coming on today, and we appreciate you.
All right. got a little ring of truth right there.
And speaking of ring of truth, one last plug. Audience, please go online and tell them how to do it, Mr. Obama.
Well, you just go to pricelesspolitics.com. And actually, you can go there and hear more about Ring of Truth political party. But you can go to www.registertovote.ca.gov and just click to re-register if you're already registered. And then you'll get to the point, you'll put your name and address, and you may need to update that stuff anyway, update that phone number if you want to put your phone number in there. But then when you go to the part where it says choose your political party preference, you would select other and then write in RNG or Ring of Truth political party. And you'll be glad you did, and it'll be a way of declaring a new future for yourself, because if we keep doing the same things and expecting something different, that's the definition of insanity. And so we want to make sure that we're taking the actions to create a much more compelling, brighter future.
Audience, this has been Mr. Barack D. Obama Shaw, candidate running for the state of California's governorship, and also the founder of the Ring of Truth, option of not being deceived, but being believed. Mr. Obama, you like that one? Huh?
Yeah, that sounds good. I like that. I'm going to have to take that from you.
All right. Hey, man. Anything that's going to get you elected as governor, it's yours. But just remember, Willow and Pines when you want a good meal and take care of those vines.
Absolutely. I like it. You're right.
My second job, I wanted to be a rapper.
Well,
hey,
you want.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Talk to you. Bye-bye.
Audience, as we wrap this show up today, I want to finish by naming off all the people who have made this show what it is today. And we last left off at the Honorable Ramachandran, Janani Ramachandran Esquire, and she was just on. Honorable Elihu Harris, my uncle, Honorable Elihu Harris, 46th mayor of Oakland, California, from 1993 to 1999. Trent Willis, president, immediate past president of the ILWU, International Longshore and Warehouse Worker Union, Local 10. Melvin McKay, past president of the ILWU, Local 10. Dr. Elizabeth Burke, professor and clinical psychologist, assistant professor at University of the West. Katrina Harmon, associate clinical social worker in San Lorenzo Unified School District. Joseph Hancock, associate clinical social worker and co-founder of Love Lab SF in Vermont. Dr. Virginia D. Banks, board certified in infectious diseases. Dr. Glenda Newell, board certified in internal medicine. We definitely address mind and body this month. Also, August, Dr. Philip Harris, San Francisco Conservatory of Music, adjunct professor and performer at Carnegie Hall, Larry Lewis and Creighton Davis, Esquire. Dr. Philip Harris, in June of 2022, released his new EP, In My Fields, with 4 new songs. Take a listen. Check out his website. In September, Daryl Collins, owner of DC Drywall, Chef Michauxnee, where I am today. Michauxnee LA, owner of The Busy Wife, now her new restaurant, Willows Pines, at 3525 Fruitvale Avenue in Oakland, California. Tamara Brown, my friend and one of the persons who helped me when I was first initiated into the podcast media mainstream. my sister. She's an Army intelligence veteran, law school grad, the Madam Pamela Price Esquire, who is the first African American district attorney in Alameda County. My brother, Ray Bobbitt, founder of African American Sports and Entertainment Group, AASEG, travel and tourism show with Alita Harris Finley, CMP and PCA. Kay Barrett, co-owner of Unique Travel Services. Dr. Virginia D. Banks, board certified in infectious disease, and Dr. Glendon Newell, board certified in internal medicine, were back on the show in September. We were trying to navigate COVID and traveling once again with our expert. In October, Dr. Calvin Wheeler, MD, medical director for a large medical organization, undergraduate and graduate medical education program in Northern California. Carl Gordon, CEO of Gordon Plastering, Inc. Nicole Burgess, COO, Chief Operating Officer of the Harris Hoisting of San Francisco, Driving While Black episode with Michael Thrash and his attorney, Matt Hawkins Esquire. Back on the show in October was Robert L. Harris Esquire and Carol Fight. In November, Janani Ramachandran Esquire, Brianna Noble, founder of Mulatto Metals Mulatto Metals and Humble, and Oakland-based Equine program for youth from disenfranchised community. Black cowgirl that rode her horse during the George Floyd protest in Oakland, California, and later from the Xfinity mobile commercial. Back on the show in November was Trent Willis, immediate president now of the ILWU Local 10. Kamal R. Hubbard, Esquire, Black USA Crypto News. In December, Gene Hazard of Clean Oakland and the Oakland Promise lawsuit. Carol Wyatt, Community Policing Advisory Board, Carol Wyatt of the Community Policing Advisory Board, and Creighton Davis Esquire, chairperson of the Community Policing Advisory Board. Some of our 2022 guests included January, back on the show, Janani Ramachandran Esquire. Also, Soul Slice with Elisa Victory and Trent Willis on location with Chef Carter of Soul Slice. Vice Mayor Rebecca Kaplan, also Dr. Newell and Dr. D. Banks, and my brother, friend, Ray Bobbitt of the AASEG, which stands for African American Sports and Entertainment Group. News stories were investigations into the previous governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, was dropped, and Elizabeth Holmes of Thurnos will face sentencing in approximately 2 months. Martin Luther King Day of Service. The results of the 2017 disparity study follow-up, and we read the letter penned from Jean Blacksher, my mother. In February, Janani Ramachandran Esquire came back on the show. John Jones III and Sabir Lockett, my brothers who went from the pen to flying high and doing a win. That is why we say returning resident. These brothers have indicated that it is critical that we stop labeling people who come out of the correctional institution, and specifically Black people. Moving on, we have Georgia Congressional District 14 candidate Marcus Flowers running against Marjorie Taylor Greene. Back on the show, Honorable Elihu Harris Esquire, the 46th mayor of Oakland. Back on the show, Trent Willett, immediate president now of the ILWU, Black History Month, and Women of Color nominated for United States Supreme Court. Kamal R. Hubbard, back on the show, talking about cryptocurrency. Janani Ramachandran, back on the show. And Tajmir, my sister, her show is live from New York. Tajmir, Donnie Glover, producer of all the shows under his umbrella of the Black USA News Network and Donnie Glover Network. Donnie Glover, you're the man. John Jones III, Sabir Lockett, and Janani Ramachandran back in March. News story with Ketanji Brown Jackson, officially nominated to the U.S. Supreme Court of the United States. Women's History Month, Ukraine, Tuskegee Airmen Mural completed of Major Jewel B. Butler, the late uncle of previous co-host and friend of the show, Everett Butler. Michael Thrash and his attorney, Matt Hawkins, to update us on what was going on. And Michael Hawkins, Esquire, Janani Ramachandran, Esquire. Danny Glover, winemaker and owner of La Bloche. That's a beautiful wine place, winemaker in the Napa area up north. Immediate past president Trent Willis of ILWU. Ketanji Brown Jackson confirmed kicked off of Rebecca Kaplan's campaign. Police oversight and school closures. My favorite phrase, slap. School and labor against privatization in the Bay Area. Urban Cowgirl event at in Castro Valley, grand opening event, and we attended, my producer and I. In May of 2022, Trent Willis, immediate past president of the ILWU Local 10, Janani Ramachandran, back on the show, Esquire, talking about her running for the council person in District 4. And she was on the show thanking us and congratulating us on our third year. Sabir Lockett and his father, Willie Lockett Sr. That was a tear-jarring show with Sabir Lockett and his father. And audience, you have got to see that show. If you can pull it up, it brought tears to my eye. John Jones III and his mother, Ann Benjamin, another tear-wrenching show that gets me clouded up just thinking about what Sabir Lockett and John Jones went through while they were incarcerated and the success and family bonding that went on after that, after they were released. Two-part series on incarceration of freedom. It was powerful. You've got to see the show, audience. Schools and labor against privatization. Schools and labor against privatization slap. Excuse me, I'm going to get a little bit of water in my mouth. I've never had to talk this much at one time. Okay, I'm back. Elisa Victory Esquire. News, Uvalde, Texas school shooting, funerals have begun. Gun control. Oklahoma shooting, but police, unlike Uvalde, shut it down in 3 minutes. Cinco de Mayo. Roe versus Wade opinion. Congresswoman Barbara Lee on CNN revealing her personal reproductive health experience in Mexico as a teenager. Senator Joe Manchin did not vote with his party to pass federal act to protect reproductive rights for all women, no matter what party affiliation. In June of 2022, we did our anniversary show, which we delayed due to Uvalde, Elisa Victory Esquire, and special show with Dr. Ashley Coleman and Dr. Elizabeth Burke regarding mental health due to the Uvalde shooting, and we then took a summer break. August season preview, 1-hour show of upcoming guests starting September 1st. And September 1st, 2022, Elisa Victory Esquire, Part 2, Elihu Harris Esquire, Barack Obama Shaw, first visit, Vice Mayor Rebecca Kaplan, East Oakland Stadium Alliance, and Trent Willis and Kevin Jenkins. October, Quandra Gaines, East Coast, West Coast Special, Part 1. Donnie Glover, Barack Obama Shaw. Chef show with Where I Am Today. Chef Michauxnee at Willows Pines now, 3525 Fruitvale Avenue in Oakland, California. Candidate and now Mayor of Oakland, Shane Tao. In November, Larry Lewis educating on military 2-part series, Chef Michauxnee and Thanksgiving cooking show. And let me tell you something. If you didn't see that, go back and pull that up on YouTube and the Donnie Glover podcast network. In December, Quandra Gaines, East Coast, West Coast Special, Part 2. Barack Obama Shaw, Brianna Noble, the Black Cowgirl, and Andrew Pearman of the Pearman Ranch sharing his love for Fresian horses, and I could maybe saying that incorrectly, and Puerto Rican roots. Chef Michauxnee and Christmas cooking show. Boy, if you want to learn well, I guess we had a brief intermission. Getting back on who our guests were in January, we had Coleman PRIOR. Let me go back. In December, we had Coleman PRIOR of Emeryville, California. He's now City Council. And in January, Elisa Victory Esquire started her new segment, Victory's Corner, bi-monthly. Robert L. Harris Esquire, Barack Obama Shaw returned, Kevin Jenkins, Colorado farmer story that we learned of due to Ark Republic, and author Kaya Nyambi Shivers, Coleman PRIOR of Emeryville City Council back on the show. In February, Elisa Victory Esquire, Coleman PRIOR, Danny Glover, owner of La Bougie Wine up in the Napa County. And once again, where we are today, Chef Michauxnee with a Valentine's cooking show. Barack Obama Shaw, Amos White of 100,000 Trees of Humanity, Justice for Pushan with her sister, Tina Brown. In March, Elisa Victory Esquire, Ray Bobbitt of the African American Sports and Entertainment Group, Barack Obama Shaw, Trent Willis, and Bridget Kane, owner of Nate for Men and also owner of Proper Fashion in the city of Oakland, California, City Center District. Kaya Nyambi Shivers, founder of Ark Republic, candidate running for office, Jennifer Esteem, the story of hashtag justice for Enzo, the husky tased in the head twice by Lodi, California police, and then noosed by the neck and dragged by animal control, resulting in his death in Lodi, California. In April, Barack Obama Shaw back on the show, and Kaya Nyambe Shivers co-hosted during our interview with Rex Pickett, the author of Sideways, which was turned into a movie that changed the wine industry for sure. In May, 1 hour show special with me, your host, Doug Blacksher, led off the month. Elisa Victory Esquire, brother Marcus Flowers, back on the show, returned sharing his venture, Mission Democracy. In June, we had California Dem feedback from me sharing my experience at the California Democratic Party convention in Los Angeles, California. We had Barack Obama Shaw, Cam of Justice for Enzo, close us out before our summer break. July, we return July 13th to date. We may have a few more days throughout the summer that we were out enjoying sunshine, but just follow our social media to keep up on those dates. Thank you to Chef Michauxnee. Chef Michauxnee, thank you. I am still here. She's cooking. I got to hurry up and get off the show. Chef Michauxnee, I'll be back there in 9 minutes. Thank you, Chef Michauxnee, for hosting us in your new restaurant today, and can't wait for the grand opening happening very soon. And audience, I will keep you up to date. Let me tell you something. We discussed earlier on the show today pictures that she has throughout her restaurant. And if we have time, I'm going to close out the show with the rest of the picture. This restaurant is magnificent. It is clean. It is new. All the bar stools are just indicative of what you would see if you were at grandma's house or with the family at a family cookout. So I'm going to continue up, and we're going to close out with a quick tour of Willows and Pine in the Laurel District in Oakland, California. Address is 3525. Once again, 3525 Fruitvale Avenue in Oakland, California. If you live in Oakland, you live in the county of Alameda. If you're in the state of California, or if you are visiting from other states, you must visit Willows PINE at 3525 Fruitvale Avenue in the beautiful city of Oakland, California. To Donnie Glover, we thank you for your continued support and mentorship in this space. And audience, be sure to tune in to Chap and Friends on Mondays, Titillating Tuesdays with Stacy Dennis, Party Marty, Let's Talk on Tuesdays, Black Crypto News with Kamal Hubbard on Fridays, as he knows all about blockchain and cryptocurrency. On Saturdays, my little sister, Black Owl, live from New York with Tajmir. On Sundays, my brother, 60 Minutes, and Black USA with Michael Haney. If you want to be in the know and reach our audience, then join our Black Business Roundtable advertising family, or to be a possible guest on the show, reach us via our email, bbrt2021@hotmail.com. Include your company name and social media page info, your address, your website, company phone number, info to our email address at bbbrt2021@hotmail.com for vetting consideration. Check out our other network shows hosted by the man, the apologetically bold newsman, Mr. Donnie Glover. Hey, Donnie! People Over Politics, Political Cipher, Data Mall Sis, Community Connections, Resources and Gardening, The Robert Report, Shared Space, Frontline News, Troy Rawlings Show, The Beverly Smith Show, and stay tuned as BlackUSA.News is always looking for podcast hosts that give audience a new perspective. Please listen to the backstory on Carlton. Continue to share his hashtag. Share hashtag driving while black with Michael Thrash story as listed below. Whoop, I'm ahead of myself. Let's go back to Mr. Carlton. Standing with Carlton of Raleigh, North Carolina, and that's NC, Raleigh, NC 2022. Audience, let me tell you something. I don't know what you're cooking back there, but I'm messing up because the smell is so good I can't concentrate. Man, this kitchen, I don't know what she's cooking back there, but I am going directly back there as soon as I finish this podcast. Driving While Black, Michael Thrash, Taylor County, TX. Next court date, July 31st, 2023, for the Michael Thrash story. And we need to make sure we follow up and get this man justice for the police who robbed him, the gangsters down there in Texas who have badges. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you every Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on BlackUSA.News Network on YouTube and Facebook. Audience, thank you for tuning in. And remember, together, we can listen, we can learn, and we can share, because I know you care. This is Doug Blacksher and Dr. Ashley Coleman coming back soon of the Black Business Roundtable. We appreciate all you have done to keep us number one. Have a good night.